Another ordinary day unfolded for Sarah, who worked as a food delivery driver for a popular app. Having been on the job for several months, she found satisfaction in the flexibility and the supplementary income it provided, despite the occasional challenges. Sarah recently collected an order from a trendy restaurant situated in a bustling part of town. However, the delivery address took her to a quiet residential neighborhood on the outskirts of the city, slightly off the beaten path. As she navigated through the winding streets, an unsettling feeling started creeping over Sarah. The neighborhood exuded an eerie silence, and she couldn't shake the sensation of being under scrutiny. Pulling up to the given address, Sarah parked her car in front of an unremarkable house. Approaching the door, she noticed the absence of lights and any signs of activity within. Momentarily hesitating, Sarah contemplated whether to contact the customer or the customer service of the delivery app. Just as she was about to reach for her phone, a faint noise emanated from inside the house, catching her attention. The sound was muffled, resembling someone attempting to speak through a gag. Sarah's heart raced as she instinctively grasped that something was gravely amiss. Summoning her courage, she took a deep breath and knocked on the door, hoping for a misunderstanding. However, when the door creaked open, she was confronted with a sight that sent a shiver down her spine. Inside the dimly lit room, Sarah discerned the silhouette of a man bound to a chair. His mouth was taped shut, and his eyes conveyed profound fear. Pulse pounding in her ears, Sarah grappled with the urge to flee, to contact the police and distance herself from the alarming situation. However, an inner voice told her she couldn't leave the man alone. With trembling hands, Sarah retrieved her phone and dialed 911. Describing the distressing scene to the operator, she requested immediate police assistance, prompting them to dispatch a patrol car. While awaiting the arrival of the authorities, Sarah endeavored to keep the man calm, speaking softly to him, assuring him that help was en route. As time dragged on, Sarah gradually realized that this was not an isolated incident. Faint sounds from other rooms in the house reached her ears, alerting her to the presence of more people in jeopardy. Recognizing that waiting passively was not an option, Sarah knew she had to take action to aid the others, freeing them from the clutches of their captors and securing their safety. Steadying her nerves, Sarah mustered the courage to navigate through the house, calling out for any potential occupants. Stepping into one of the rooms, she was confronted with a sight that made her blood run cold. Several individuals were bound in the room, their mouths gagged and their eyes filled with terror. Among them was a young girl no older than 10. Anger and fear surged within Sarah. How could anyone subject innocent people, especially children, to such horrors? She realized she had to act swiftly, ensuring their escape before it was too late. With unwavering composure, Sarah began untangling the victims, liberating them one by one, speaking softly to reassure them. She emphasized their newfound safety and the imminent arrival of help. With steady hands, Sarah diligently untied the victims, setting them free one after another. Speaking in hushed tones, she provided reassurance that they were now out of harm's way and that assistance was imminent. Driven by the urgency of the situation, she aimed to liberate everyone as swiftly as possible. The looming threat of the kidnappers remained, and there was no time to waste. Sarah knew she had to evacuate everyone from the house and ensure their safety. Swiftly untying the remaining victims, she guided them out, remaining vigilant for any signs of danger. As they made their way down the street, the blaring sirens of a police car pierced the air. Relief washed over Sarah as she saw the approaching police officers, armed and ready. She recounted the harrowing events to them, and they swiftly took charge of the situation. Setting up a perimeter, they initiated a thorough investigation into the incident. It was later discovered that the victims had no connection to one another, and the kidnappers, who were multiple in number, had snatched them from the streets. The motive behind the abductions remained a mystery, leaving everyone perplexed about the kidnappers' intentions. However, the most baffling aspect was the reason behind the food delivery order to that particular address and the peculiar circumstance of the door being open. It was possible that the kidnappers had altered their plans, leading to their hasty departure. Regardless, the entire situation was deemed a miraculous outcome, and Sarah was hailed as a hero. She acknowledged her good fortune, recognizing that the situation could have taken a much darker turn if the kidnappers had returned. Nevertheless, she took solace in knowing she had made a difference, saved lives, and acted in the right way. From that day forward, Sarah approached her work with a newfound sense of purpose. While she couldn't single-handedly save everyone, she understood that she could bring about positive change, one delivery at a time. And for her, that was more than enough.